We have Burn for Burn by Jenny Hahn and Siobhan Vivian. And then Speechless by Hannah Harrington. Once Dead, Twice Shy. Early to Death, Early to Rise. And Something Deadly This Way Comes by Kim Harrison. And they changed the cover, which made me mad. Guardian of the Dead by Karen Healy. The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer, which I loved. And The Evolution of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. I can't wait to read that one. Incantation by Alice Hoffman. Crank by Ellen Hopkins. The Physics Book of Deliverance Dane by Catherine Howe. Blessed by Tanya Hurley. Creepy cover. The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson. Just added that one in. And then down to this one, we have 16 by Julie Carr. Fallen by Lauren Kate. And this one is actually signed, if I can find it. Oh, there you are. And then we also have Torment and Fallen in Love, which is a little novella that goes with it. The Duff, or The Designated Ugly Fat Friend by Cody Keplinger. And Shut Out by Cody Keplinger. Origin by Jessica Corey. The Dust of 100 Dogs by A.S. King. And then here is my little Stephen King collection. We have, this is written by Richard Bachman, which is also Stephen King, The Regulators, and then the companion novel, Desperation, which I love those covers. And then we have Black House by Stephen King and Peter Straub. I love that book. I read that when I was in, middle school. Bag of Bones. Dreamcatcher, which I also read in, middle school. Full Dark, No Stars, which is a book of short stories. And Just After Sunset, which is also a book of short stories. Under the Dome, which I am scared to read because it is over 1,000 pages. And then we have 2 graphic novels. We have The Stand, Captain Trips, and then The Stand, American Nightmares. And those are actually created by somebody else, but I put them with Stephen King since they're his books. The Devil in the White City by Eric Larson. Jane by April Linder. And Adaptation by Melinda Lowe. And on to the bottom shelf, which I am hoping won't get too dark. We have Rotten Ruin by Jonathan Mayberry. Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. I love that book. What the Dickens by Gregory Maguire. The Declaration by Jim O'Malley. Another recent ad, Jellicoe Road by Melina Marchetta. Blah. And again, another ad, Fairy Tales and Nightmares by Melissa Marr. Oh, can't get that big in there. Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. Crier's Cross by Lisa McMahon. Vampire Academy, the signature edition, so it's got her signature there on the front. And then here's number 4, Blood Promise, and number 5, Spirit Bound, and those are by Rochelle Mead. And then Incarnate by Joni Meadows. And then here's the last shelf. Cinder by Marissa Mayer. The Host by Stephanie Meyer. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstein. Ruined by Paula Morris. I actually really like that book. And then here's the Chaos Walking trilogy. We have The Knife of Never Letting Go. The Ask and the Answer. And Monsters of Men, all by Patrick Ness. Okay, so that was the whole front rows of the shelf, and I'll get back and show you that again. And now I will put those, the front rows back up, and I will show you the rest of the books. Okay, so here are the last of the books, and we'll just start up at this row right here. We have Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver, Delirium by Lauren Oliver, Envy by Greg Olson, Revived by Kat Patrick, I love that cover, Confessions of a Murder Suspect, and Now You See Her, both by James Patterson, and this one has Michael Ludwig also. We have Sisters Red and Fathomless by Jackson Pierce. The Adoration of Jenna Fox by Mary E. Pearson. And Die For Me by Amy Plum. I really liked that book. And then on to the next shelf. We have Emily the Strange, The Lost Days, Emily the Strange, Stranger and Stranger, and Emily the Strange, Dark Times, all by Rob Rieger, I think is his name. I cannot remember, but I like those books. Virals by Kathy Reaches. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. This actually got me into YA. I really enjoyed that book. Under the Never Sky by Veronica Rossi, which is also autographed. Then we have Divergent and Insurgent. This is the collector's edition. Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepsis. Macbeth the Play by William Shakespeare. Then Article 5 by Kristen Simmons. Now on to this shelf. We have Lockdown by Alexander Gordon Smith. Oh, it's Lockdown Escape from Furnace. It's the first one. The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. And then this is the Mysterious Benedict Society trilogy. The Mysterious Benedict Society, The Mysterious Benedict Society and the Perilous Journey, and The Mysterious Benedict Society and the Prisoner's Dilemma, all by Trenton Lee Smith. Then we have The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater, which is also autographed. Wish You Were Dead by Todd Strasser. Really liked that book. Imaginary Girls by Nova Rin Suma. We have the Fairyland, I think it's a series or what that is. The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making. And The Girl Who Fell Beneath Fairyland and Led the Revels There by Catherine M. Valente. The List by Siobhan Vivian. And then on to the next shelf. We have Numbers, the first book, by Rachel Ward. The Book of Blood and Shadow by Robin Wasserman. Here's the Generation Dead trilogy. Generation Dead, Kiss of Life, and Passing Strange, all by Daniel Waters, which I started reading and I just I'll get to it again eventually. Partials by Daniel Wells. I think Dan Wells. And then here's the Uglies. We have Uglies, Pretties, Specials, and Extras, all by Scott Westerfeld. And then we have Leviathan and Behemoth, also by Scott Westerfeld. Alright, on to the last little section of this bookshelf. We have the picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Miles from Ordinary by Carol Lynn Lynch Williams. Oh my goodness. All These Lives by Sarah Wiley. Blood Red Road by Mariah Young. All These Things I've Done and Because It Is My Blood by Gabrielle Zevin. And then last but not least, The Book Thief by Marcus Suzak. So yeah, there you go. That is my big bookshelf. It is mostly YA, but there was some adult books in there. My other little bookshelf has all adult books on it. So yeah, look out for probably, well, I'm not going to say part 2 or part 3. So watch out for the next video, which will have the little bookshelf and the books in my living room in it. Bye!